so that it picks up your voice and my voice. All right, good, good. Turn this up. So I don't have to put it to your face. I can keep it right to my chest, and it picks up your voice. So today's question is, why are you or aren't you a Christian? You said you're not a Christian. The question is, why aren't you a Christian? Give me a reason.
Well, you know, you don't see it, you don't see it. You don't really see it. You are Christian.
All right, so would you say that your objection to the truthfulness of Christianity is intellectual, volitional, or emotional? Which would mean intellectual, you have intellectual questions that have not been answered, or volitional questions, meaning you don't want some book telling you what to do or how to live your life, or is it emotional?
Right.
You can't grasp God sending people to. Okay, so it's volitional. You don't want some book telling you how to live your life. So you don't want a standard telling you how to live your life. So you would say that you want to live your life on your own terms, right? Okay, so you don't follow any laws.
Law?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you have to rule by law, yes.
So would you say that a law is a standard?
Yeah, and you want to put it.
Yeah, it's a standard. So do you follow the law of the land of Jamaica? Some of the laws?
Some of it.
So wouldn't it be a self-defeating statement if I say I don't want to follow any laws, but yet I'm following the laws of a land? Would you say that would be a self-defeating statement? It's like I'm saying I'm an only child, but I have two brothers. Or I'm saying my parents died before I was born. You're seeing me. It's a self-defeating statement, is what I'm saying. Or I can't speak a word in English. I said words in English to say I don't speak a word in English. So to say that I follow no laws, but I follow the law of the land, then it would be self-defeating. So if you're following the laws of the land of Jamaica, right? Would you say that the laws of a land would be better than the laws of God, who is perfect?
Well, when I say in a sense, the law of God is better, you know.
Yeah.
The law of the land.
Because the law of the land is ultimately man's law, and the law of God is ultimately God's law. So you would agree that following God's law instead of man's law would be better, right? Right? So why not just become a Christian then?
Yeah, but I don't read it.
All right, so you would say that you want to clean your life up first? That's what the last guy said. Want to clean your life up first. Do you think that if you become a Christian next week Sunday, you will stop sinning completely? Like Christianity is a life of no sin?
That's why I not jump into that, you know. Because I don't want to know, say, when I serve the Lord, I do the same things when I do. That's
Yeah.
why I not jump to conclusion.
Conclusion or confusion?
Any one of them you want to say.
Yes, so my answer to that is always this. Christianity is not a life of perfect righteousness. And since it's not a life of perfect righteousness, the objection, I don't want to become a Christian because if I become a Christian, I'm going to still sin, is not a valid objection. Because I'm a Christian and I still sin, but there's a big difference. A worldling and a Christian, both of them still sin. What's the difference? The big difference is this. One lives a life of righteousness and one lives a life of sin. The life of righteousness is not a perfect life, which means you're going to sin sometimes, but it does not define your life. Whereas the worldling will sin all the time, and the sinful life defines his life. Like if you look at my life, for example, I read the Bible every day, I go to church every Sunday, I talk about God most of the time, but sometimes I will see a good-looking girl walking by, I'm like, whoo, I slip. I just slip. But it doesn't define my life because I'm not going to walk. No, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, me understand.
Yeah, so that's the Christian life. It's a life of fighting against sin continually instead of giving in to sin every single chance you get. So if you become a Christian, then you'd be somebody who fights against his sin and his desires as opposed to giving into it all the time. The person who gives into it all the time is not a Christian. It's a hypocrite. And you've probably seen a person who claims to be a Christian and he's doing all the other things. You see what I'm saying? They're everywhere, but we don't put our faith in man. We don't say, oh, because he's a hypocrite, I'm not going to become a Christian. You say, because God has commanded me to do this, I'm going to do this or that. So the faith is in God, not in man. Because if you put your faith in man, you're going to always find yourself going the other way because man will fail. I'm going to be a pastor one day. I wouldn't want anyone in my church to say, yo, my faith is in you, pastor. So if you fail, I'm going to fail. No. Put your faith in God because God will not fail. You see what I'm saying? So I think you should become a Christian one day, man. Yeah.
Yeah, as me tell you, but I don't ready as yet.
One day you'll be ready. I'm confident.
Yeah.
I'm confident. Good conversation. Let me see. Just 5 minutes and 9 seconds. See? Short interview.